Hey you, so on this coin, on how much will this coin appreciate, I'm going to be speaking on the Dragon and Phoenix error coin. Now, I initially had intended to pick up these, which is the normal variation of this coin, but from my first unboxing, if you saw, I ended up getting a box of these error coins. So I'm going to be speaking on this, but loosely referring to this sometimes and giving a few stats on that. So jumping straight into this one, guys, I have had a few requests on coins to do. Now I'm going to be covering a whole range and a lot of coins in this series, but definitely the ones that have been requested I'll be bringing a lot forward, so doing a lot sooner than later. But always leave any coins that or maybe of interest, and I'll try and see if I can get ahead and go over and do these. So jumping straight into this, I'm going to speak on how well I personally see this coin appreciating over time, whether it's tanked or bombed and done well, or just not doing too great at all. So this was the error coin. So all those who may not know, it had a slight variation from the original one. If I put it side by side, you can see, if you see behind the Phoenix's head in that section on the left hand side one, it's shiny. So it was a variation, an error. It wasn't intended by Perf Mint, and it's something that happened. So and then there's also another spot, I believe, on the dragon's tail that's also polished behind the area there. Now this was a fantastic coin. Speaking on why I initially got into this coin, it was one I was eagerly awaiting, and I was really stalking the dealer for when this coin was going to be coming out. It was, to the best of my knowledge, going to be one of the first times, or the first coin that Perf Mint was bringing out on their new mintage model, and that was the 50k mintage. So for me, prior to that, we was getting coins like the Lunar coins, and they was having damn near 500,000 on the coin mintage. So this was something definitely worth paying attention to when you're having a coin now coming out in one variation, i.e. 1 ounce. They did go on to change that when they was doing a 2 ounce proof and high relief 1 ounce, but it was still not as many as the usual when you're looking at the Kooks with their 500,000 plus many other size variations, and the Lunars with the 300,000. So it was a massive first, which also has worked in the price of this coin, and definitely something I wanted to lock in on. I was able to lock in, and then over a period of time, individuals had brought it to my attention that there was some type of error, variation on this coin, and that's what led to it just really exploding. It was already a hard coin to get a hold of, because at the time we was told it was going to be mainly for the Asian market. Now that was correct. I believe it was LPK, if I'm not mistaken, Luscious Precious Metals, LPM, Hong Kong, that originally commissioned this coin. So they had the bulk, or the majority of the coins. Perf Mint had whatever they had, and then the rest of the dealers, not saying they didn't get some, I believe Modern Coin Mart was the main dealer at the start, and then the European dealers got a hold of these. So we was told there wasn't going to be that many, and there wasn't really. So as I've done many videos on this coin, I'm not going to go too in depth, but ultimately there was an error, and I found out through strong sources, reliable sources, that it's around 1,200 to 1,500. Obviously, as Perf Mint have not put their hands up and openly spoke about this, we won't get no final definite mintage figures, but the 1,500 to 1,200 was as good as gold, because dealer had very close first-hand info, and it turned out to be correct. Individuals had mentioned to me in comments that they knew somebody at Perf, and the majority of these were going to be with this error, because that's just the way it was. And then we had the information I got that it was going to be minute, and it worked out to be that was the case. So there isn't many of these about, so that most definitely affected the pricing on this coin. Now, talking on price currently, if I'm going to throw this one in here, the standard one is doing very well from the price of purchase. I can't see or remember how much I paid. I'd need to really go and find out, but I know I've doubled on the price on the coin. Currently right now on the standard one in Europe, around £40. So you can pick this coin up for around £40. And I'm just giving bottom baseline prices here. Dealers are selling them for a lot more, and not to forget, they have sold for a lot more, as I'll get into in a moment. In America, you're looking around $55 on this coin. That's just the standard coin here we're talking about. On the errors, because there's not so many, but they are about, obviously, you're looking at around £60, once again on the low end, and that's in the UK, around $80 in the US, once again. Now, these coins, when they first came out, because of the hype surrounding them just being hard to get a hold of, and then this scandal with Perth Mint doing this slight variation here, sold upwards of $250. I know individuals that sold for that. I helped an individual liquidate one of his roles on Instagram, and the coins were selling from $90 to $120. So the coin has got a good history of, definitely when it exploded, of selling upwards of $300 to say $100. So in between that price point there is what it was averagely selling at. Now it has settled down. You've got that first initial explosion, but we'll get to where the prices are now and where and what I think about that. But I think holding this coin is a fantastic option and choice, because it's such a great coin. And also, when you're talking a error coin or die variation, I believe when you're looking at a coin like this coming from one of the major mints, i.e. Perth Mint, Royal Mint, US Mint, and you can even put Royal Canadian Mint in there. These mints are so large and so well established that their coins of error or die variations go on to do fantastic. Not saying the smaller mints don't. We had the Scottsdale Mint with the leopard, and I think it was the Pubjoy Mint with the Britannia Rules the Waves. But I think all coins have that initial spike, but being able to go on and go from strength to strength, it helps when it comes from one of those more larger reputable mints. And Perth Mint is going to be the creme de la creme, if you're asking me. They are the best when it comes to collector coins in terms of what they release and quality. You know, you have the Royal Mint that sticks more with a lot of heritage coins. I don't think it's bad, but it's not aimed more at the modern collector. When you look at the Royal Mint, something like the Queen's Beasts are where I think they should be doing a lot more. They have a massive budget, and I think it's being wasted. 90% of their stuff to me is junk, it's crap. But you know, it is what it is. The Royal Canadian Mint do releases damn near themed after a dictionary, you know, but they just don't have a history of going on to do fantastic things. Own personal opinion here once again. I'm not saying they all do bad, but they don't have that good well-known name of doing quality stuff. They go wild with it on their releases. They have releases from everything to anything. With Perth Mint, they also have a large section of their coins which are junk, but then they have a good healthy section of good strong coins that have sold well and done well, and you know, top quality. So this is why an error coin coming out from one of these mints is definitely something you want to hold on to, and can only go on to do fantastic things. And that's what I see with these. Now, a few things I see that definitely worked in this coin's favor and why I think it'll go on to do well is, as mentioned, it was the first one out on the new model of the 50k. It was the first coin in a series. This coin is part of a series now. We have the currently, I believe, the Tiger Dragon out, and you know, so you know, this was the first. Now all of these coins are initially going to be on the larger 50k mintage, or still appreciating well, but the error coin is going to be that one step above that. So you have the first of it coming out on the new 50k mintage. You have it being a first in a series of coins, which we all know brings that bonus of it's a very strong coin. This is a very, very strong coin. And then you have technically the first time you have a very strong mint like the Perth Mint making a mistake. And so this is where these coins I think are a fantastic option for the long term. I had an opportunity to liquidate some in the beginning. I was still of that very strong long term mindset. I don't regret not liquidating these coins. It was with the swans that I also showed that's where I think I done the smarter move. On these coins with such a tiny mintage, I think there's still a strong play that can be had with these, because the ultimate question is how well will this coin appreciate over time. I only see this doing better and better. In the current slow market, not that these coins are affected by spot price, but this market interest in general, whether you like it or not, a lot of individuals that were involved in collector coins have now gone over to crypto land. So a lot of the just a lot of the people and interest that could be here ain't here. So it's affected the market in a whole, regardless of what spot price is. So I think this coin, in my opinion, easily sits at a £100 coin, 150 now, right here, right now. So I'll be gauging any increases on that base point. You know, will it get back? Yes, most definitely. If it doesn't make a difference, because once again, this is the first of many firsts, but also the first error on such a small mintage. A hard coin to get a hold of, but not impossible. You can find this easily on the secondary market with some patience. And then individuals have contacted me in the past, telling me prices they've paid, and it's been pretty decent prices, but the average is always going to be up there. So saying that, I easily see this coin going up, you know, $40 a time, even with every new release or not. Wishful thinking, who knows, but it's done fantastically well currently. Perf don't seem to be making any more mistakes, and you know, this coin ain't getting no older. It's a very, very classic, strong design that's only going to go from strength to strength. You know, this is Perf's twist on it. We got the gold version and we got the high relief version. Once again, if you got the bullion, you got it at the lowest price point and can now sell. So it had the best upside potential, and it's always going to be the case when you're not paying more of a premium on the coin. But I only see this coin increasing. Where do I see it going? Only up, no further down. You have that initial hype, buzz, swing, can't get a hold of spike, and it's settled down to still a very handsome level. So currently on these, there are also the graded options. I believe last individual I saw that got one graded got it for around $180. So, you know, I don't know how they're being labeled, but it's not something I've looked into, but may look into soon, seeing that they do officially come with a different label than the normal ones. And so, you know, they are great options, but if you're interested, you can still find them about, you know, at somewhat decent prices. But I only see this coin going up. So once again, this is just a rough gauge and a video for individuals looking to get into collect the coins. I picked this coin up. I've explained why, and it's one of the coins that have gone on to do well, that I can only see doing better. So modern coins ain't all, you know, dog poo, but the majority are. But if you pick wisely, you can really get a hold of some great winners out there. So I'm gonna wrap this one up here, guys, but it'd be fantastic to hear what you guys think about this coin or any other coins in the comments. So hate it or love it, guys, go ahead and let me know what you think of this in the comments. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll catch you guys on the rebound.